Hey everyone, how are you doing today? My name is David and I am going to be reviewing this iGulu brew kit today. This is the Bavarian Hefeweizen kit. This is a German style Weissbier or wheat beer. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to put all of the ingredients together. We're going to set up the iGulu. I have the iGulu S1 here. We're going to set this up to ferment, let it do its thing, and then we'll come back and we will do some taste tests of this beer. So first off, what is this beer? Like I said, this is a German wheat beer. On the packaging here, it says the estimated values. It's going to have an ABV, so an alcohol by volume of 5 to 5.5%. It's an IBU of 12 to 18, so it shouldn't be too bitter. This should be a pretty good drinking beer. Let's see what's in the container or the package here. So in the kit, you get a few things. You get your Bavarian wheat. This is your dry malt extract. So this is 1 pound or 454 grams. You get your yeast packet there. So that's 0.07 ounces or 2 grams of wheat beer yeast. You get your natural hops extract. So they use hop extracts for these, which is really nice. And then lastly, you get your RFID tag. So that's everything that's in this kit. Pretty straightforward. As always on these kits, the instructions are on the back. So pretty much you take your keg, you sanitize it, clean it, fill it up with water up to the 116 ounce marks. You add the hop extract first, mix that up. Then you're gonna add the malt extract, mix that up. And then lastly, you put your yeast on top, close it all up, put it in the machine, and then you're good to go. So I have already sanitized the keg and filled it up with water because it's just filling a keg up with water. So I'm gonna get all of that stuff over here. We're gonna put all the ingredients in and then we're gonna get this brewing. All right, so we have everything that we need to brew this Bavarian Hefeweizen. I have the keg here, and as you can see, it's filled up with water to the 116 ounce line. This has been sterilized, same with the lid and the straw. If you watched my last video where I did an overview of the iGulu S1 and we brewed the Mosaic Pale Ale, I used the lid and the straw to mix things up, but I felt like it didn't really do a very good job. So I found this cocktail mixing straw in my drink mixing kit that I have, and we're gonna try this, see if it works a little bit better. So first step on the instructions is we've already added water. Now we're gonna add the hop extract. So that's our little container or this little package here. I'm going to cut this. Put that in. I'm going to rotate this so you guys can see. Okay, so there's that. Put that in. And then next, we're going to put in our malt extract here. And this already smells like a wheat beer. It's amazing how you can already tell like what this is. You can almost get a sense of what it's going to taste like from the smell of the ingredients that you put in there. So next we're going to stir this up. around edge here. So the last time I was also wondering about, like there's clumps in here, and you're not gonna necessarily get perfectly mixed up, but it didn't affect much of anything on the last brew that I did, so I'm not too worried about that for this one here. And then lastly, we sprinkle the dry yeast and then leave it unstirred. So this will eventually fall down into the water and the mixture, and these little yeast buddies are gonna eat all that goodness and turn it into alcohol and carbonation. And then we're gonna have a delicious beer afterwards. Okay, so that's all in there. And then lastly, we just have to put the lid on. So this again has a rubber gasket, an O-ring, and that causes resistance and friction on the lid there so that it makes a good seal. And then lastly, we use this little collar, and this adds a handle, but then also this prevents the lid from popping off. So the last one I did, so as this is fermenting, it creates a lot of CO2 gas. The machine will actually release that pressure as it gets too high. It does maintain a certain pressure level, but with that gas building up in here, that O-ring still is not enough to keep it sealed. So this actually locks that lid on, and I noticed that when I was cleaning this keg after the last brew, I had to release all this pressure from the actual keg there, and it took quite a lot of elbow grease to get that lid off. So this is an absolute must. I don't know how, I mean, I feel like it should last a long time, but if you're rough with it, even taking it off last time, because I had to press the lid down and try and get it compressed as much as I can to get this collar off. I mean, it might break after a while of use. I don't know, but it seems to be pretty well built. So we'll see how time will tell on that one. So everything's in here, and all we have to do is get it in our iGulu machine and turn it on and start the brew. So let's get that going. Okay, so all we have to do is turn on our machine, it boots up, and we're going to take the RFID tag, put it over the G in the logo, and we can see here it says the Bavarian Hefeweizen, and we're going to hit OK. And then this will show us the temperature and pressure and the duration for each day. So this is going to take, looks like 11 days before we can enjoy this, and that's okay. So all we have to do is hit the check mark. It says avoid CO2 during brewing. As we can see here, I have it on air mode. So the CO2 canister is hooked up, but we won't turn that on until it's done. And there we go. Now it's going to regulate the temperature. It's going to cool it down or heat it up as needed. The PSI is going to slowly increase as the yeast is doing its thing. And then we're going to have a countdown from, so that's 11 days. And it's going to be a long 11 days waiting for this, but I'm sure it will be worth the wait. So we're going to let this do its thing, and we're going to come back in 11 days and see how this beer tastes. Okay, so we are back. This brew has finished. In the time that I started this to now, I did get sick. So this has been sitting in here for about a week after it's finished. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but I might sound a little bit stuffed up, but don't worry, my taste buds are working just fine. So I've been really eager to give this one a try. I think it's good to go. I think I'm good to go. So let's take a pour of this Bavarian Hefeweizen and see how this tastes. Okay, so that poured pretty nicely. As you can see, it is a nice, it's a hazy color. So one thing that really kind of struck me is that if you look at the image on the packaging, now I don't know if they are going to update their packaging or anything like this, but this beer is clear. And a wheat beer, you don't want it to be clear. So all of like the yeast and some of the byproducts and stuff like that, it's floating around in this, and that's what gives it some of its distinct flavor. So if yours is clear, it's probably not going to be very good. Like it might still be, but it's not going to be a traditional wheat beer. Now this has been kind of sitting for a few minutes in between me getting things kind of rearranged for the camera. And the foam has subsided quite a bit, but it lasted there for, I want to say, about 3 to 5 minutes there, which isn't too bad. It does smell very much like wheat beer. You can't really tell from the shots, but there is some good carbonation. Now again, this has been sitting for about a week now. I kept it around 6 to 9 psi with the CO2 canister, so I'm sure maybe a little bit of CO2 incorporated into the liquids there, but my assumption is that most of this carbonation has come from the fermentation process. So without further ado, let's give it a taste. Yeah, that tastes exactly as I would expect it to. Yeah, no, that's actually very good. Now this isn't my first choice of a beer. Definitely this is something that maybe I would, if I was gonna have a few beers with some friends, I would maybe start off with something like this. It does have a lot of flavors to it. I get a little bit of citrus flavor in there. I do get a little bit of the yeasty flavor, but that's kind of comes with the territory. It is quite refreshing though. Definitely what you would expect from this type of beer. Now it's not something that I would probably drink a whole lot of, to be totally honest with you. I think the people that like this kind of beer tend to like this kind of beer. I personally am a little bit more of a casual drinker. I do like to enjoy different types of beers. So if someone offered me one of these, I wouldn't say no. I would definitely order something like this at a pub, or even if I go to the beer store, the liquor store there, I would definitely pick something up like this. But definitely maybe like 1 or 2. But overall, I'm quite impressed. For the second brew that I've done with this system, so far, it's doing exactly what it sets out to do. Both of the two brews that I've done, the Mosaic Pale Ale and this one, have turned out exactly as I would expect them to. And they don't taste like a home brew, really, which is really, really nice. Now, this is a lot for one person to brew something that you don't necessarily like. It's going to be difficult for me to finish this whole 3.8 liters. So that's where the equal filling, like the portable bottles, come in. I am planning on giving some to my neighbor and see what his input is. I couldn't have him on the video here, but he's quite interested in tasting this one, so we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll update in the comments what his opinion was on that one. But overall, I mean, like, if you like this kind of beer, I think it's actually not bad at all. It doesn't have a long lingering aftertaste, which is really nice as well. And I think this would be definitely good for pairing with like a really nice meal, or even just having a few drinks out on the patio, you know, in the cooler weather, something like that, in the spring, fall, stuff like that. But overall, you know, I'm quite impressed with this. The carbonation is still, I mean, it's still bubbling quite a bit there, so you know, it's holding its carbonation. It's not releasing it too fast, and you can feel it on your tongue there when you take a sip. So overall, very impressed. But like I said, I probably wouldn't do this one again, just because that's my own personal opinion. But if you do like this style of beer, I would say give it a go. Alrighty, well, I'm going to finish this one, maybe pour myself another, and then we'll see what we're going to be doing next in our iGulu. I think the plan is to do a cider. I do have the golden lager. I have a few actually, so we'll keep an eye out for my next video in the coming weeks, and we'll see you then. Cheers.